6 p.m. live before lock review. And once again, Bobby has left me by myself tonight. Must be nice to be Bobby, just be able to go tootle around while the rest of us have to grind our lineups leading into lock. He had some personal stuff he had to deal with, so you're going to be stuck with just me today again. I'm going to go at least till 6:30 and probably closer to 7, depending on how things are going. All I'll ask is if there is any late news, that would be nice if someone could lay that on me. I did hear there were some rumors of LeBron being doubtful. Let me just see if I can't get a little something on that. But we have time to deal with that. I'm going to go over all the sports I have going on tonight, by the way. There are enough people that asked me, so I'm going to go ahead and just at least go over what I have. We can't do too much in-depth whatever, but see, what I have from LeBron is downgraded from probable to questionable. I mean, it doesn't sound good. I will say that. In the real world, I wonder if that's doubtful. Doc Rivers says that Joel Embiid will probably play against the Knicks. Isn't that nice? I don't know. I was able to do it. K9? I don't know. You think it's a SaberSim issue? Let me just take a look and see what it looks like. I mean, honestly, it's the same thing that I have. SaberSim upload. I mean, it's literally the same thing. So I don't know why. I don't know why it would be any different. Yeah, it could be. I don't know. So I guess let's start with. You know what? Just because people asked, I'm going to go. Give me 5 seconds. I'm going to just go through my hockey. Just enough people asked me to just go over it. Then I'm going to spend literally 5 minutes on it. So the way I have my hockey set up tonight is again, I'm doing 20 lineups in hockey, and I do have one hand-built one. And for whatever reason, my hand-built one has a team that is in none of my MME builds. But I've learned to not question that. So in my hand-built one, I have Colorado, but I also have Seattle in that. But for whatever reason, Seattle's not coming up on any of my MME builds. I mean, I've learned to not question that. I'm just not good enough at hockey to know why that would be, honestly. So I do have a bunch of Colorado littered throughout my lineups. I also have a bunch of New Jersey. Also some Anaheim, maybe Nashville. So yeah, I just want to also make sure it would be nice to know that my guys are starting at goalie. So I'm going to make sure to take a look at that. But I got a lot of these later games, so I don't really have too much going on at the early hockey games to worry too much. Kyle McCarr, that's 8 o'clock. Just going to make sure some of these go. Gibson, that's not till later. So I'm not worried too much about the goalies right now. Yeah, a lot of rain, huh? I like Anaheim, by the way, Kevin. I like that. I like Colorado and I like Anaheim. I like both of those in hockey. All right. I guess the next let me do baseball, because baseball is, again, it's not going to be quite as sensitive to later news if we get it. So let's give NBA a little bit more time to kind of settle in before I go through that. And let me just go over baseball. I'm glad I am because there is one guy that I need to get out of my lineups. I do have 5% of a pinch hitter. Well, I mean, a pinch hitter is someone who's not in the original, not in the lineups. And that would be, I have 5% of Will Smith. And then I'm going to go over what I actually do want and what I do have. Where's my Will Smith lineup? There it is. So we'll X him out. Oh, because he was 4K. No wonder. No wonder they really wanted me to have him. Oh, what a surprise. So this is basically a full stack of that. So why don't we get rid of, this could be cool. Get rid of a chalky him. I don't know how to play this now. You know what I want to do? Maybe I'll replace him with Minter. I think that's the idea. Yeah, I think that's the plan. Remove non-probables, replace him with Minter. Hope to get a 0. Actually, don't hope to get a 0. You know how it is. So with baseball, again, I really, really like these 5 zeros. These 5-0, not 5-0, these 5-1s. And I'll tell you again, in the name of transparency, this is really just kind of. Oh wait, so Will Smith was the reliever. Oh, good call, Adam. I'm gonna pull that back. Okay, I thought it was Will Smith, the position player. He's on the Dodgers. Oh no, oh poor Bob. I was thinking of Bobby. I am gonna put him back in. I'm gonna put Will Smith back in. Good call, actually. Thank you. When I saw Will Smith, I thought that it was like it was the guy from the Dodgers for some reason. All right, he's back in. Will Smith is back in at 5%. All right, so so with the baseball, I do have a bunch of these 5-1s. But here's my big stand here. I am not playing any Charlie Morton. That's I don't know how I'm going to get away with that, but that's the way it's going to be. Charlie Morton comes in as a great game, then I lose. That's the way that is. And then I have a bunch of these 5-1s with a bunch of these Colorado, with a bunch of these Astros all together. And then like these one-offs just kind of scattered throughout the rest of my lineups here. It's like some of them I've Adam Duvall, some of the literally there's I have like one-offs like all over the place. So it's a lot of I have a lot of Valdez. I have him in the captain a decent amount. I have some Brantley in the captain, some Duvall in the captain, but basically what I have is a lot of 5-1s. And you know what? If you don't have Morton, that's probably a good idea, right? That's at least that's consistent. Is you play 5-1s with the Astros, you have 0 Morton, and then at least you have your hashtag game script for whatever that's worth. That's right. They are, John. We are not locking in the men in black. If that the Prince of Atlanta, or the Prince of Houston, actually, not Prince of Atlanta. Okay, so that's what I'm doing in baseball, and that's what I'm doing in hockey. Let me just for hell of it, just to finish that off. I'm doing FanDuel also. You don't have pitchers over there, so I'll just go over my captain stuff. So I have Altuve, Tucker. I do have some Freddie Freeman on that side. It looks as though the numbers are really wanting to take a stand on Houston, being kind of the nuts here. So I'm gonna follow along with that to some degree. And just so I don't forget, let me take a look. I could show you actually the hockey. So the hockey I'm just putting on FanDuel also. It doesn't pay all that much, but I still like to do it. Just continual puzzle solving. And I have a little less Colorado over here. A little more Winnipegs. Anaheims. I have a couple of Minnesotas. I mean, honestly, I just plugged my stuff into SaberSim, and then I, did some ownership fade stuff and did a couple of tweaks along the way and just kind of just ran with it. If I'm going to be honest, I was a little lazy, but that's what I did. Okay. Am I doing Valdez and captain or both actually? But let me just double check that. I do have my 20 lineups on DraftKings. I have actually most of them in the utility. I have one in the captain, two in the captain, three in the captain, four in the captain, five in the captain. So I have 25% of that in the captain and a bunch of utility. I got a bunch of I'm putting Chas McCormick in the captain in a bunch of lineups. It's kind of cool. I don't know how many people are doing that, but we're gonna get that done. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me get a quick look at the NBA. Embiid still the same. So my one, I'm going to go over what I have on DraftKings NBA wise, and then I'm going to whatchamacallit. Then there is one change I have to make, or maybe I'll get your opinion on whether I want to change this. I got to remember though. First thing I want to say, we'll give it a little tout, not a tout, but I've done pretty well in the NBA so far this year. I haven't really, cashed for a huge amount, but I've been getting some very different looking lineups that have been in contention. And they've been the types of lineups that kind of look kind of really funny at the beginning of the slate, which is really what I like. As I mentioned this in the earlier video today, or yesterday, when you make an NBA lineup and it looks totally perfect, it usually probably has no chance. It's just the way it goes. You really want to feel a little bit uncomfortable when you look at your lineup and say, boy, is this really what I want? Those are the ones that really have a chance to win the big GPPs, in my opinion, at least, based on my experience. And when I've been running my lineups this, since the season started, I've been looking at them and I've been saying, well, this is not exactly what I thought I was going to come up with. And I took my hands off and I ran them anyway. And I've developed some really, really good builds and lineups that just looked like kind of just weird, but are just seemingly really doing it at semi lower ownership. Like last night, just some random night, I played 20 lineups and it didn't look like much was happening. And then you saw this one or two stray lineups that were live with Luke Kennard and a couple of guys in that late game that I wanted them, I think, come in top 50. So the reason I bring this up is I'm touting SaberSim, at least on this particular stream, because they've been when I've been putting in my numbers and just tweaking a little bit in the sliders and doing some a little bit of secret stuff, but we're not that secret. We're getting lineups that look kind of weird, but I'm really, really happy with the way that they're playing out. They're getting low ownership, they're looking unique, and they're not. It's a good combination of being unique and also not having no chance to win, right? So I figured I would just at least put that out there to you. So you're saying is okay. So first, before I get to the actual questions, I am just going to go through what I have tonight in the NBA, and then one kind of seminal question, not a seminal question, but one question I have. All right, so I am locking in DeJounte Murray tonight. I liked him a lot of different ways, and I do like him a lot, and he's just going to get locked in. That's the way that's going to be. I also am going to have a good amount of Joel Embiid. I'm also going to have a good amount of Michael Porter Jr. I also am going to have a good amount of Jalen Brunson, that value. Keldon Johnson, I like 75% of him. So I'm taking some pretty big stances on some guys, and that's not usually what I do, but this is what I think I'm doing tonight. You want to do DraftKings first? No, I am going to do FanDuel next, because on FanDuel I have 100% of somebody. I have 100% of Porzingis over there. Which again, he's just really just rating out as a really, really strong play. So I'm getting just an incredible amount of him, and I'm going to keep it. That's my take over there. Then I'm going to come back with a question that I have for you guys, and it's for myself too. Let me just pull up my FanDuel so you can see my percentages. I don't have that. There's a RotoGrinders plugin that allows you to check and see what your percentages are, but for whatever reason, I can't get it to work right now on the FanDuel app. So I have to rely, which is kind of cool, on SaberSim to remind me of what my percentages are. Where's my builds? Okay, so this is my last build that I did. I don't know if I changed anything. So I'm pretty heavy on Porzingis, Tobias Harris, Shea, DeJounte Murray, Embiid, things like that. Aside from Embiid, I am playing some Porzingis over at the center position as well. So my question is to myself is, do I want to play or do I not want to play Derek White and DeJounte Murray together? That is a question that I'm dealing with right now, because currently that is my big lineup is playing both of them together. And it doesn't seem that bad, but it doesn't seem that great. It's the size slate that makes it a tough question for me. Like if it's a 2-game question, if it's a 2-game slate or 3-game slate, I would say that no problem. If it was a 12-game slate, I probably wouldn't want to do it. But if it was a 5-game slate, like it's this, I do want to kind of challenge this a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, just for the hell of it, I want to find that lineup in SaberSim, for example. I just want to see how it rates, like relative. Like if it rates that well. If it rates that well, I'll probably stick with it. I mean, it's just barely better than this other one here, but that also has Derek White and DeJounte Murray. This also has Derek. So what I want to look for is the first lineup without them both in it, and see if I can play that one instead, right? So, like for example, I'm comparing lineup 3 here, which is no Derek White, with this lineup here, which has them both together. Now, the other thing to consider, and I haven't looked at your comments yet, is what type of tournament I'm in. I think that I'm definitely going to, well, I'm not going to change it, but I would definitely be more inclined to put them together in kind of the bigger buy-in, because you don't need to be as many people. But I still think that what I am going to do is I'm probably going to change it, the bigger buy-in to the one without the 2 of them together. The only thing I don't like, well, there's a couple of choices here. So here, this is really what I do. So I'm looking at these now. Let's say I'm trying to think of which lineups to replace it with. So I'm looking at these 2 here on the right. So the first one has Dwight Powell, who, boy, it's tricky. I don't know if I want that, and I can say that, right? I could say I don't know if I want that. That's yeah, it's putting my personal biases in there, but it's not like I'm giving up that much. And yet on this other one here, this one I kind of like a little more, because you want to know what this does for me, among other things? This has Jokic in the utility, and if I'm not mistaken, that game starts at 10 o'clock. And to your point, Adam, if LeBron is ruled out, then I might want to make that AD, right? He's here. Oh, he's earlier. I thought that the Lakers were okay. I thought the Lakers were later, so that doesn't help me that much. So we're going to know about this at 8 o'clock, but I could change it, right? I could still change it if it's as opposed to Embiid. I'm trying to think of the advantages of having Jokic in here. I kind of like these two as a change off of the other one. All right, let me see if you guys have any opinions in here. Lakers are a bit earlier. You have them both together. You ran it back with AD. I could have someone else from the other team. It still lets me swap from Jokic to Jay. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. And what I like about this is I do like this Damian Lee play. I think it's kind of neat. So this lineup with Damian Lee, and it's still got two Spurs, so it's not like whatever. It's got DeJounte Murray and it's got Keldon Johnson. That I'm fine with. Darius Bazley in the center position seems bad, but that's only because I'm not putting Jokic in there because he's in the flex, right? It's all right. And this also gets me Kristaps, who I do like. And I also don't want, you know what I don't want? I don't want Kristaps and Powell together. So I think this is exactly what I'm going to do. I think that's what I'm going to do. So that's going to be, and that also doesn't make me play Andrew Wiggins, which I don't necessarily want to do either. But what's his name? But Bobby didn't really like Brunson that much, so I have to factor that in. And his point was pretty well taken that he went off and he only scored 26 fantasy points, right? He played 26 minutes. He was 7 for 13 from the field, and he only had 26 fantasy points. You know what I want to do? You want to do it? Let's do a little research. Let's do some research on this Derek White thing with Popcorn Machine. Yeah. Let's find, when did the Spurs play last? The Spurs played last on, where were the Spurs? Right here against the Bucks. Let's take a look at this. Let's see what we did with Derek White. So Derek White started with Murray. I think this is fine. I don't know why I was under the impression that for whatever reason Derek White was on the bench. Nah, this is good. I'm keeping this. Okay. I'm glad we did this. I'm keeping this. I'm keeping that. Thank you very much. Okay. All right, well, at least we did that. Let me see some more news here. Nothing yet. Someone is commenting that LeBron might sit against Oklahoma City because he wants to play against Popovich. I don't know about that. Is LeBron, is Westbrook playable without LeBron? I love that. I think that's a great idea, actually. If LeBron is out, I think that's actually pretty sharp. Because you know what's going to happen? I'm telling you, with LeBron is out, I know that everybody's going to play AD. They'd have to play Westbrook too, right? Probably, right? I don't know. Well, if you get less, yeah. If you get last year's Westbrook, you're damn good. Let's put it that way. Let me pull up my FanDuel for a minute because I do want to look at my bigger buy in there as well. 645, 770. Embiid, Harris, Maxey. Take a look at my big one over there. That one has Maxey. It's got Hardaway. I don't know about this. Let me go back to my builds on FanDuel. Let me see what these look like. I mean, I am supposed to do that which makes me most uncomfortable, right? And that would certainly make me uncomfortable. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep it. I am just gonna keep it. Let me now scan through and just see what kind of cheapos we have on DraftKings. So just in case, you're building lineups and you want to like just stick stuff in. So I still have Jalen Brunson and Dwight Powell as the top two values over here. I still have DeJounte Murray. I thought DeJounte Murray is such a strong player. I mean, this is extremely strong from a numbers perspective. I mean, when you rate that high, both in point per dollar and in value score, I mean that's very you don't get that too often in the NBA. And I just don't really want to fade that. But what I do want to do is I do want to figure out how to get some Christian Wood. I think. I'm looking at Christian Wood at 11%. I'm looking at LeBron at 10%. I'm looking at Westbrook at 6%. But the thing is, those ownerships are very fragile because we just don't know what's going to happen with the news, right? Yeah, I like the Damian Lee a lot. Yeah, I like that. Let me just see how much I have of that. I wonder if I should force in a little more of that. Well, what I could do, I mean, put Anthony Davis right here. Play Davis. This one doesn't even have, what's his name? DeJounte Murray. Now that would be really different if I played AD and instead of and running it back with White and Johnson with no DeJounte Murray. I think that's asking for it. I don't think I want to do that. Yeah, I think the way I have it is pretty solid. Yeah, the one thing I would think about is, you know what? Screw them. I just want to show this because this one does have three San Antonios. It's got Murray, White, and Johnson. Let's just say that I wanted to get to Damian Lee over here, and now I have all this extra dough that I could spend. What would I do with it? Well, I do like Wiggins a little bit. I do like Porter. I think Brunson would be the guy that I try to. He just doesn't seem like he's going to win anybody at GPP. Now, this would be pretty cool. Well, you know what I could do? Excuse me. I could keep Derek White and just swap Brunson for Damian Lee. That would be pretty cool if I did that. So that gives me Bazley and Damian Lee from that game and Wiggins. I still have the issue of the three Spurs. The issue of the three Spurs. Well, is there anybody that I can get up to at 5,600, for example, at a forward that would make me want to get rid of, say, Keldon Johnson? So let me look through here. Let's just do it by point per dollar. Like nothing fancy, just point per dollar. Let's see if there's anybody approaching 5,600. Well, there's Podol. So if I could finagle it around to get him in the utility. Ooh, there's RJ Barrett, who's nobody's going to. Oh my God, they have it 17%. Crap. Well, that's annoying. I could play almost play Conley. So if I played Barrett or Podol, and that's more from the San Antonio. So, yeah, we could do this, right? We got to be able to do this somehow. This is where I need Bobby. So he's a forward. So I want to get rid of him. I want to place him with someone that's double eligible. Can Wiggins fit in there? Yes. Okay, so So if we replace Johnson with Wiggins over here, then no, Wiggins. No, I'm gonna put you over here, sir. Put Wiggins over here, Mr. Forward. We could put Derek White over here, and now the world's our oyster, right? Now we can go ahead and we can play Podol if we want. We want. We want. It's the question now. Now at least I'm going to have 3 Spurs. They're not all guard wings, right? I gotta want Podol more than Barrett, right? I think that's what I'm going to do. Boom. And then just for funsies, we'll put this in another one. We'll put this in this one and put this in this one. Oh, I wasted all my money. Oh no, I knew I should have taken that money out. Oh crap. Okay, that's fine. I don't need to change that much. Okay, good. So that's what I think I'm going to do. And that's the one change is do I want to Podol or Barrett? Boy, it seems like Barrett is such a bad play that maybe I should just play him. Right? I don't know. Let's see any more new news in over here. Oh, meanwhile, I'm kind of a fish. Yeah, and so I think this is good. Meanwhile, I'm a fish. I didn't realize it was 7:30. I could have come on later. But this is better for Mrs. Sheets. This way we'll eat a little bit earlier. So now I do have to kind of pay a little bit more attention to the news because I did come on a little bit early. And then I'm going to have to come, but at least I do have more time to check on late news here. Let me just, there's one other thing I had to do. Hold on a minute. I'll tell you what it is in a second. I'm also going to post, I posted them already, but I'm going to do an update. The early NFL look. We're gonna do a video on that tomorrow, but I posted some early, but for whatever reason, there were a couple of teams that I was missing, and I think that they've all been updated. So I want to update that. I was missing some Buffalo, missing Miami, missing the Chargers. So I want to make sure to get even though they're early looks, I do want to get them at least tight. So I'm just doing a little updating here, and then I will push those hopefully this evening before that changes. Also, just a little announcement, whatever it is, just an observation. You guys have been following the MMA. We've been doing really well in the MMA. The next 2 weekends in MMA are extremely good cards from a fan perspective, whatever it is. Like November 6th, like a week from Saturday, they're going to be Madison Square Garden, and that place is going to be a freaking zoo. I tried to get tickets for that. They priced me out pretty handily. Let's just put it that way. But that place is going to be a zoo. But this particular card this week in the MMA, if you guys play that, is impossible. It is so hard. There's like so many incredible options. It's going to be impossible to play. I won't say impossible, but it's going to be an extremely difficult MMA card to play. Whoever wins that is almost definitely going to win it by themselves. I mean, I am going to, of course, try to make heads or tails of it, but I already looked, and it's the combination of really, really not only good favorites, but favorites. There are so many that are going to score. A lot of grappler, a lot of Russian grapplers out there. It's going to be a zoo. So that's one thing to keep an eye out for. Let me just see something real quick. Let me see if I got this updated. Oh no, I didn't do it yet. It's a lot of. Hold on. 2-3, 2-3, 2-3, 2-3. I'm going to go ahead and finish this. Actually, let me see some questions real quick, and then we'll go back to it. Any 4K punch you like for a lunch? Absolutely. Oh yeah. Some of them. Yeah, I guess but there are a lot of locks, Paul. It's just a lot of you go through them. I'm telling you, it's crazy. Okay, so I'll just pull up my sheets and we'll go over them because some of them are going to be kind of chalky, but we did talk about one of them right now. So under 4K, Dwight Powell 3,300, but I like this Damian Lee play a lot. And then if you want, you could play also Mike Muscala at 3,500. Now none of these are great. Okay, normally what I like to see to have be a good straight up value play is at least a point per dollar projection of more than 6. So we're not even at that. So all of these are very fishy. I will say that. But if you did want a 3K punt, an under 4K punt, those would be the places that I would go. You know, I think I'll do the live NFL one. Once I finish updating the projections, I can show you what they look like before I post them. It's something. And the LOL, they're down to the semifinals of the Worlds. This coming on the 30th. That's actually been pretty exciting, I have to say. Let me just make sure that I'm getting. Actually, I'm not ready to update this yet. I'm still not up to date on my Josh Allen projections yet for some reason. For some reason, I'm just not getting them. It's weird. And then we have, NASCAR in 2 weeks. No. 2 weeks from now is total DGen Saturday. So forget that. There's the NASCAR Championship. There is that big MMA card at the Garden, and there is basically Christmas Day at Cheats World, and that is the Breeders' Cup, which is for me just trumps all of it. But I'm gonna be in doing it all. But Breeders' Cup all day, November 6th. Not November 6th. Whatever that Saturday is. I guess that's November 6th. Or November 7th. Friday and Saturday, actually. Friday is the supplemental Breeders' Cup race. I mean, they're not bad. They're great races. And then there's Saturday. So there's Friday and Saturday Breeders' Cup. Next Saturday, like you said, and NASCAR Championship. Then there's just everything else that's going on. Oh yeah, and there's football. Yeah, and then there's football too. What else you got? Any other questions in here? Let me just take a look real quick at any news here. Nothing really. Okay. I can't really see any big news. Whatever. You might just put money on Stake Kings for the Breeders' Cup. What does that mean? You're going to put it on 5 minutes? 5 minutes.
Really 5?
Yeah. Robinson Earl starting for OKC. Instead of whom? That's a good question. Oh, Adam, just people are really bad at horse racing. Listen, do me a favor, Adam. If you really want to, but you don't know how to bet it on there. I would just say I'm going to do a video on it. Without me, without getting too into it. I mean, as good as I might be at other stuff like poker and backgammon and DFS and whatever else. I mean, there's very few people better than me at horse racing. It's one of I don't really make a big deal of it. I never want to put content up there because it would just kill my price like 99% of the time. But for the Breeders' Cup, it doesn't really matter. So I am going to do a video for the Breeders' Cup. So I mean, I honestly, if you really wanted to sweat and do it, I mean, I would, you know, you could probably bet the races on FanDuel. Oh yeah, Jason, that's great. You probably make an account and bet stuff on FanDuel or something like that, and I'll tell you what good values are. You know, I can't promise you anybody's going to win or anything, but I'll tell you at least where the good values are. You really don't want to. I mean, I don't look. I shouldn't say that. I don't know who these people are on there, but but they're very few people I would suggest will tell you what to do in horse racing, because most people say I like this horse without any respect for what the odds are going to be, without any respect for value or anything like that. So you want to play Breeders' Cup, I will do a video and I'll post that for free. You know, just this one time on the site. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So Mrs. Sheets is nice enough to whip me up a nice dinner, so I am going to take advantage of that. So I'm going to get going. Good luck, everybody. And you're saying Robinson will replace Muscala, so that's the last thing I would do is probably take out your Muscala lineups and or replace him with Robinson. I don't have time to really just update that or give a take on that. So you're on your own. Good luck, everybody, and let's get it.